Hey, what's going on, guys? Good afternoon. It's KLA, Clyde the Wanderer, and I have a lovely guest with me. You just seen the intro of my guest, Marisa Ross, IFBB Masters Bikini. How you been,
That's
man?
right. Excellent,
Yeah,
excellent.
yeah. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you.
Of course, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, I seen you on Instagram, and I was very curious on how you got started into bodybuilding.
Okay, well, I have to go way back, and excuse me because I've been sick, so if my voice sounds a little rough, I apologize. I have to go way back because I am 50, almost 53 now, and I came across a book, believe it or not. I think I was in a bookstore at 16, and it was a book written by Rachel McClish. She was the very first Miss Olympia. And I just saw her and thought she was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. And I bought the book, and because I just saw it and I thought that I want to look like that. And nobody in my family ever went to the gym, lifted weights, that just wasn't a thing. And I got a job, got a gym membership, and I've been in the gym ever since.
Yeah, yeah. You ever seen Rachel McLish movies?
Oh, the pumping iron too, of course, and her
Yeah,
other ones. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
love her. Yeah, if I could ever meet her and thank her personally, that would be a dream come true. Because I mean, she altered my life. I mean, I always wanted to compete. Started getting ready for a show when I was 27, and then ended up getting pregnant with my first daughter, and so had to put that on hold. And then almost 25 years later, jumped on stage for the very first time.
wow.
So yeah, all because
So
I
you,
saw that book.
yeah, all because of that book. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Was it like in newsstands or was that like in Barnes and Nobles?
No, I think it was. I don't remember what bookstore. If it was a library, honestly, it was so long ago. I don't remember. I just know it was up on a shelf, and she was in her bikini, in a pose, and I picked it up, and it was a workout book. So it was like teaching you how to lift weights at home, with little little like 2 pound dumbbells. But I just thought I want to try that. I want to see if I can grow shoulders like hers, and
Yeah,
yeah, the thought of learning how to sculpt your body was totally new to me, and it just seemed intriguing to me.
yeah. Well, I mean, you look like you could be her. Well, I mean, you got the physique. I mean, like your arms, like you said, is sculpted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
It's
nice.
so
Yeah,
funny because, you know, today's bikini girls are bigger than she was when she was Miss Olympia for bodybuilding.
yeah,
It's crazy. The sport has definitely evolved, and I'm bigger than I think not that I'm huge or anything, but I'm
yeah,
definitely bigger than I thought I'd ever be.
yeah.
But it's all about the sculpting and the shape and trying to reach whatever that criteria is at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you stand out. Like if I seen you in the street, I would be looking. Might want to ask you for like a picture or something. So,
Yeah,
so,
that does happen, believe it or not, and it's
yeah,
it's really funny, even because my husband and I just came to Orlando because I'm competing on Saturday. It's my first show of the season, but depending on what I'm wearing, like if I were to walk down the street or in the airport wearing something like this, people look at me a little strange.
yeah,
We're bodybuilders. We're just kind of like a little bit of the aliens. People look at us not sure what to think about it, or sometimes people look at us in a little bit in awe, or I wish I could do that. I don't know how you did that. That kind of mentality. It's just different than the norm.
yeah. It's a lot of mixed feelings with,
Yes,
especially with society. And
exactly.
it depends where you are, because you could be somewhere in different parts of the world, and people may not accept it, and there's places that people do accept it, like in Europe, like
Yeah,
Germany, or
totally.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they accept
And then
that.
I live in Southern California, and so I think it's, and then I actually train at the Gold's Gym in Venice Beach sometimes, and that's a home away from home. There, you're just amongst family there, but
Yeah.
yeah, everybody there's kind of the same. But you go to, I don't know, Kansas, they might not look at me the same way.
Not in a positive way, or
No, I just mean, I think it's unexpected.
oh, okay.
I think it just depends on the person. Some people look at you like you're crazy, and some people like, why would you want to look at that, look like that? I actually had, not to digress, but I had an older woman once at my gym in California. I was posing, I was getting ready for a show, and she came over to me and she asked me what I was doing and why I was doing it, and she literally said to me, "My husband would hate it if I looked like you." And
Mm.
I said, "Well, that's okay. My husband loves it. So, it's different things for different people."
Yeah, yeah. Because some people, they with the traditional way of looking at women not supposed to have muscles.
That's right.
Men, yeah, and so I mean, to me, I think that it can be some extreme to it, though. Like they could
Oh,
be a point where it could be similar to a transgender in
right.
a sense.
Totally. And I kind of sound like that right now, to be honest, with
Nah,
my throat the
nah,
way it
no,
is.
you don't.
But I was a little self-conscious about that because of my cough. But that was always one of my goals, not to be, that masculine. What I
Yeah,
loved about Rachel was she was strong but feminine. So
right.
you could be feminine and beautiful, but still possess this strong looking body. And that's what I always wanted to achieve.
Yeah. Was she like the only one that you were inspired by,
Oh
or
no, I could go down a list. So there was Corey Everson. There was Gladys Portugues. I don't know if you know her. She was another one, but she was definitely
rings?
bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it rings
She
about.
Yeah, she used to train at the Better Bodies gym in Brooklyn, and my son lives there for a while, and I used to train there, and hoping that, because they told me she still would go and train there every once in a while. I was hoping
Yeah,
I'd run into her just to say again, thank you for being an inspiration to me, along the way.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, so was bikini like the only division that you was attracted to?
To be honest, yes and no. So I love the aesthetic of bikini. Like I said, it's still strong but feminine. But in a different world, and if they weren't, so to me, so big, figure I think is beautiful because they are a step above. They're definitely bigger. They have bigger shoulders. I don't get to show my back because I have kind of a bigger back, and they don't want that in bikini. But that's actually my husband's favorite part about me is my back because it's pretty sculpted and big. And I love their legs, so I think every division is beautiful in its own way. Like, I'm very envious of wellness. My genetics just don't lend me to having those big legs and those
Yeah,
giant glutes, but I am so impressed by those girls, so I just look at them all in awe. It's just different. Every division has its own beauty to it.
yeah, and every division has its own fans too as
Yes.
well. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm a fan of it all, to be honest. And I've been to almost every Olympia except for the last couple years, since the 90s, and I
as a
love,
spectator, as
yeah,
oh, okay,
yeah. And I love men's bodybuilding. I used to watch Flex Wheeler and Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler. And like, I just love bodybuilding in general, and Arnold. I mean, he's another inspiration for me. I know he's a man, but, he saw a vision and he went after it. He didn't care what anybody told him. He didn't let anything stop him. And for me, that's very inspirational. And I just appreciate that. And I kind of am living that right now. I'm trying to qualify for the Masters Olympia, and I see it. and I'm going after it. And, I might be old for the 40-year-old category, but I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm going to keep trying.
Yeah, I mean, you're a very attractive woman, like, for 40 years old, for over 40,
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, not that people like, there's not people that's crazy about the bikini. I've learned,
Yeah.
there's people that do like the bikini division, appreciate the bikini division.
I
Yeah,
think that a lot of people don't, the ones that don't appreciate it, I think they don't understand how difficult it is
yeah,
because there's really a lot to the fine tuning of the bikini body right before a show. Whether it's bodybuilding for men or figure or bodybuilding for women, they get peeled, right? You get super peeled and dry. You want every muscle fiber to show. For us, we have to find a balance. We need the muscle depth, right? So that you have your slightly capped shoulders, you have tie ins in the back, you have round, full glutes, but they don't want those striations, and they
right.
don't want those cuts and those lines. And so it's a little bit more of a challenge because we have to fine tune the diet in such a way to find that balance. So it's a little more difficult, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah, do you think you guys are finding your way?
Oh yeah. I mean, the criteria, like everything else, always is changing. And it used to be they wanted the big round shoulders, then they wanted big lats, and then it became all focus on the glutes. And that, but all that makes it fun, because it's always evolving and always changing, and so we have to change with it.
Yeah, yeah. So you've been like so you're like a sophomore competing.
Yes, I am. This is only my second pro year. I turned pro at my second show in July of 23. My first show was the Patriots Challenge there in July, and the head judge said, go to nationals 2 weeks later, and I did, and I became a pro. Last year, I did 6 shows. It was a lot, but I was trying to qualify for the Masters Olympia before they changed the qualification process. So now you have to win a 40 and over. So this Saturday, I'll be competing at the Girl Power competition in Orlando, and I'll be entering the 40 and 50-year-old categories,
Okay.
hoping I get that qualification. But I have
That's
to
a
win.
lot. Yeah, that's a lot to do. That's a lot for you to do. 6 shows. Like you
Yeah,
competing in 6 shows. Like
it was
training
it was
like
a lot.
yeah, yeah.
But
I'm
that's
like
okay. It was fun. It was part of the challenge. I'm just,
uh,
grateful that I had the opportunity and the ability to do it. So,
what was it like for you? Like was it like intense or
so,
it wasn't too bad or
so it's funny because my coach knows this about me. I like being in prep. For me, having that, I don't know, what's the word, consistency, of the diet and just the routine. I love routine. So for me, I'm much happier. You give me too many options. Like if I can go and have a Chicago style pizza, I'll eat the whole thing, So
yeah,
for me, just having the consistency of the diet, I feel better, I sleep better. I'm just happier, healthier when I'm in prep. But it does take a toll on your body, not having a whole lot of body fat is probably not the healthiest thing in the world.
right.
So as a woman, we need to maintain a little bit more of a body fat level. So in between shows, I would gain a little bit of weight and then have to lose it. The losing it is never fun, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What was it like competing with like how many bikini competitors were on stage with you?
Oh my goodness. The biggest show that I've done was
Yeah.
Sasquatch, and that was my pro debut in 23, September of 23. And there were over, I think, 35 open bikini girls at that show. It was a lot. There were 3 rows on each side of us lined up on that stage. And then I think Saturday, there are about 18, 40-year olds competing.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
So it can range. I think Wasatch Warrior, that's also this weekend, is only 8 40-year-olds. So it just depends on which show you pick and who's judging. And, I guess like Orlando's a big city, so people will gravitate towards that one.
Yeah. Do you think were you like satisfied with the judges' critiques?
Oh, yeah. For me, the critique was always the same.
Yeah.
And everything was always very complimentary, which was really really humbling and very nice, but it was always grow the glutes. It's bigger glutes, denser glutes. So that's what I've been working on since I took my off season back in September. It's been 3 days heavy lifting towards
Mm.
glutes every
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. I seen you like you also do like a like correct me if I'm wrong. You do a little powerlifting a bit. I don't know. Like
it's it's
it
I,
looks similar.
yeah, it's not. It's not powerlifting per se because I don't do heavy like
Yeah.
deadlifts or heavy squats because with those movements you get a thicker waist most of the time, and for bikini girls we want to
Right.
keep that tiny little waist. But
Right.
like my PR on a leg press, on a single leg press, is 10 plates for 10 reps.
Right.
So I do
Right.
push a lot of weight,
Right.
but it's just really trying to hone in on the right body parts.
Yeah. Well, we on your Instagram. Yeah, you
Oh,
was
I see that.
doing like one of these. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then there was the good
Yeah, you
mornings that I
was
did
like
with
working
Xuxiao.
hard
Oh
on
yeah,
this video.
yeah. Oh yeah, I was dying.
Yeah. Was
That's
that your
that
coach?
is
He giving the
Ash.
thumbs up?
Yeah, oh yeah. So that trainer, his name is Ashley, and he's with Team Form Fit, and
Yeah.
he has been helping me the last couple of months, really trying to train the glutes because my back was taking over, and which isn't great because you don't want to grow your back. So he's been really, fine tuning my form and really focusing in on those glutes, and it's been working. So that's a definite good thing. He's done a great job.
Yeah. 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 Like what's like the body part that you like working out the most?
Oh, well, the one that's my favorite are shoulders. I love
Oh,
shoulders,
okay,
and
sure.
as you can tell, yeah, I mean, even for bikini, they're right on the edge. They don't need to get any bigger, so I don't really train them anymore. But that's why they are the way they are because I could train them 3 times a week and I'd be happy. They could be burning and
Mm,
on fire, and I'd still love it and want to just keep going, but can't do that anymore.
mm, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I noticed that, like what you were sharing earlier about you know, bikini, their physique is kind of like evolving to
Hmm.
almost a figure, you know.
It's definitely gotten bigger. If you look at bikini girls just from 5 years ago and then 10 years ago, it's a massive difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
What's
that's
your
my
thoughts?
back.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a nice back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's your thoughts on the fitness
Oh, the
the
new
fit
fit
model
model?
position? Yeah.
I love it. And I'll tell you why. Because I feel like there were a lot of women, and I agree with the younger women, but I'm going to speak for older women, that a lot of older women felt like the bikini aesthetic is out of their reach because we're too muscular.
Okay.
And so I feel like Fit Model
Mm,
gives a lot of women that entry level ability so that they don't have to gain so much muscle. They don't have to lose most of their body fat. They can maintain that like beach body bikini, look and get on stage and give it a shot, which is
mm,
fun. And for me, the more people involved in bodybuilding, the better. I'm excited for it.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's people that's not too crazy about it, but it be like the hardcore female, the women's bodybuilders. You know, feel that
Right.
women's bodybuilding, they get like they get the short end of the stick.
And I
You
agree with
know,
that.
and
I totally agree with that. I feel like women's bodybuilding, the full blown bodybuilding, definitely gets the short end of the stick. I don't think they're appreciated as much as they used to be, especially in the like the 90s and 2000s. But
Right.
it would be nice if we could celebrate it all because it's all beautiful. It's all bodybuilding. You're still sculpting, you're still trying to achieve a certain aesthetic in each of the divisions, and I feel like it's all important.
Yeah, yeah. Like I see you in the cover of this magazine, Brax Girl. Wow,
Yes.
okay. This like how did you get into the cover?
It's a foundation that supports young women, and I actually know the owner, and she just out of the blue said, I'd love you to be our little spokesmodel for the month. And I was just very honored. So she wanted to put out my story about being a mom and competing for the first time after 50, and she just thought it was inspirational. So she asked me to do that.
That look nice. Very nice cover. You look. I mean, I think this was yeah. I was about also a bodybuilder.
Oh,
So
I think I lost you.
no,
Oh, there
can
we
you hear me?
I hear you now.
Oh, I noticed been also a bodybuilder.
Oh, yeah.
Is
So that's a funny story. So my husband, he was not a bodybuilder at all. And, he would go to the gym and he would stay fit, but not, he had never even been to a bodybuilding show. And then when we got married, I took him to a show and he got to kind of enter that world. And then, when I
mm,
became pro, he's kind of surrounded with me and my friends, a couple that we hang out with who are both pros. And we were kind of teasing him saying, well, you can't sit at our table because you're not a competitor, you're not a pro, right? And so he thought, you know what, I'm just going to give it a shot and see. And he did it more just to see what kind of shape he could get into. And so he
yeah.
got ready for his first show last March. And he entered two shows back to back. One was the Emerald Cup with me. I did the pro show, he did the amateur. And he won his age class in both shows. So,
Wow,
anything is
that's
possible.
cool. That's cool. Yes,
And it's been
this is the
nice.
handsome guy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And it's been nice to do together
Well,
because being in prep together is fun, because then we're both eating the same kind of foods. We're not feeling like one doesn't feel guilty eating a hamburger in front of the other. So,
yeah,
yeah, it
yeah,
makes it easier.
yeah. It's a different world. Like even trying, like for the average, well, I know but for the average person, it's like talking another language.
Totally.
And
Oh, yeah, it was
yeah,
all Greek to him. He had no idea.
yeah,
And it's the one thing I said to him when he's the one who encouraged me to enter my first show. And I said,
yeah,
you need to be sure because I don't think you understand what kind of commitment this takes. It's not just here and there, it's 24/7 because the diet, the training, and it's not just training in the gym, it's posing. You have to have a posing coach, you have a trainer, you have a prep coach. There's a lot to it. It's honestly the most expensive hobby out there, in my opinion.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I understand you told Rachel McLish
Uh,
what drives you to do it. Like,
yeah.
what makes you want to go through ships of bodybuilding, doing that, then competing and getting up early and same food. Like, what drives you to that?
It's so hard for me to explain. There's just some things that are in like in your soul. Some
Yeah,
people are driven by are mega Star Wars fans or Harry Potter fans, or they could be race car drivers and they're just passionate about it, or marathon runners and they're just passionate about it. It's just something that really it literally is in my soul. I just love it. I could be in the gym all day long and I'm a happy girl lifting weights.
mm,
I think the chemicals that get released in your brain through that process, It's my happy place. It really is. It's like it's my drug. It's honestly my addiction. But at
Yeah.
least I picked one that keeps me healthy.
Well, we got somebody that has a question for you.
Okay.
His name is Joseph. How much cardio when cutting?
Oh, it just depends. So this season, I took 14 weeks for my prep because I wanted to take a little bit longer. I only had, I think, 10 pounds to lose. And so we started off the first couple weeks at about 30 minutes, and we do it for, I do it for calories more than time. So I've learned for me, I can't sprint, I can't run, I can't do stairs really hard for 30 minutes straight. It's just too hard on my body. My body doesn't react well to that. So,
Mm,
the cortisol just kind of skyrockets at that point. So, 30 minutes to me is 300 calories. So I'll do the stepper or plyometrics or push the sled, and I use my Apple Watch. And I know it's not accurate, but at least it's my baseline and I just track it for calories. So if it takes me an hour to walk it, I just burn those 300 calories. And then those kind of increase a little bit, probably by like 50 calories per week as the time goes on. So the most I ever did was supposedly like 60 minutes. So 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes at night, but it really translates to about 600 calories burned, if that makes sense.
oh, do you own gym at home?
So I have a treadmill at home, but that's it.
Okay.
I just go to a gym, EOS gym, and it's open 24 hours. So sometimes I'm there twice a day as we get closer to a show. But they also have some
Yeah.
recovery stuff, which I like to use. I like to go in the sauna and the recovery sleeves on my legs to help them recover. So like I
Uh,
said, it kind of takes all day.
yeah. Like outside of body, like what hobby do you do?
Oh boy. So I'm a knitter for one, and that's kind of a funny. Yeah, I love to knit. So, whether that's making sweaters or mittens or hats, which is funny because I live in Southern California and I never get to wear them because it's too hot. But I like to knit. I like to read. So I was, before I became a bodybuilder, I was a children's librarian. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm a librarian and I love to read and I love to promote reading. And actually, I'm looking forward to getting back to volunteering with that a little bit. I like to help teach adults how to read. So that's,
Yeah.
all part of it.
Yeah. You know what? Guess what? I work at the library.
Do you? Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
I
How
work at
fun.
the I work at Grand Army Plaza in Brooklyn.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
goodness.
the central, yeah, it's the
Yeah,
central library. Yeah, I've
I
been
love
working
it.
there for like about 3 years now. Yeah,
And you like
yeah.
it?
It's okay. It's okay. I basically some and stuff, and
Okay. Yeah.
sometimes they have like a book. You get the book for like the patrons, or
Yeah.
you hand it to them and stuff when they order the books and
Yeah.
stuff. And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So my
Huh?
favorite part about being a children's librarian was
Right.
I used to do story time. And so I
Okay.
have a funny little story about that. So I would get very excited and I would do special story times like on the weekends, whether it was have the police department come and have like different kind of squad cars so the kids could, get in the cars and meet the police officers, or I'd have the fire department come and I'd say, no, I don't want one truck, I want three. Right. And so, and then the biggest story time we ever did was a pony story time. That was fun because I
Wow.
actually had two miniature horses show up and they actually brought them into the library and I had 900 people show up that day.
Is your library
Oh,
is
you
your
broke up
library
again.
big?
Oh, it
No,
was,
I was.
yes, it was big. The
Oh,
one that I used to work at, I don't work there anymore. It was the Huntington Beach Central Library, and it's a very large, well-known library on a lake, and it's just beautiful, and it has an indoor garden, and yeah, it was a very special place to work, and I miss it.
wow, that sounds nice. Wow, you sound like you miss it.
I
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah,
But right
yeah,
now we have other goals.
yeah. You big. So what? So you don't do anything like outside of just bodybuilding and
So right now, other than, my husband and I like to travel a lot, so we do that.
oh,
We travel because he's retired now, and so we're able to do that. And we're kind of car enthusiasts, so I don't know if you saw on my page, I
yeah,
have an old 1950 Chevy five-window truck, so I take that to car shows, and my husband has a couple of cars he likes to take as well. So we do things like that as well.
yeah. I know he wrestling. He
Oh,
likes
my
to wrestle.
kids, my
Yeah,
boys.
yeah.
Yeah,
One of
so
your
I,
sons.
I
Yeah.
had I have two boys, but they're all older
Okay.
now. So I have two boys, and my oldest is my daughter. So I have kids from the age 26, 24, 23. I have them back to back, and so they're all adults. My oldest one is in vet school. The two boys did wrestle in high school, did really well. The youngest one went to the state championships a couple times,
Yeah.
and I miss watching that. That's so much fun. But he's actually in at the University of Wisconsin Madison right now, getting ready to graduate, and then he's going to be going off to the Marine Officer Candidate School. So they're all living their happy lives, and this. So now that they're gone, Mom gets to follow her dream.
Yeah. Can you see
Yeah.
this?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I miss that.
Yeah.
And my daughter used to be a gymnast, and I miss
When was
watching her do
this?
that too. That, oh gosh, I don't even remember. It was
How
so
long
long
ago
ago.
was? Oh,
Let's see.
yeah.
Their
Put
boys were
them
in high
down really
school,
hard,
so it.
man. Like,
Yeah, that probably was at least 5 years ago.
how old is he now? Like, he's 20.
Yeah, 23 or 24. I just depends
Okay.
on which son
Okay.
that is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see which boy it is. But they both were great, and they both enjoyed it.
Yeah. Did we? Yeah. Those are both of your sons?
Well, that one is my son. I believe that is
Hello?
Vincent. That is my youngest son,
Oh,
and he was the one that went to the state championships a couple of
oh,
times.
okay. When I was in, you know, and football, they didn't really have like a wrestling team or anything like
Okay.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
they both
But you,
got my mom's
yes, but were
genetics.
you?
They're kind of small. They're not short, but one is 5'9". I think one is 5'7". They didn't get real tall genes, so it was like, what can they do to be successful in sports? And wrestling was perfect for them.
Mm,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Vincent. Yeah, he
I
won the Trinity
see.
League championship right there in the middle.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is you at the library.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the ones at the library. I think that, yep, that was a school library that I helped start. Then when I started there, they didn't have a library, so we helped create that, and then I ran it for several years. And then I
Oh,
left
did you
there to
ever
go.
thought of? Oh,
Go ahead.
no, no. I was gonna ask. Did you ever thought about like teaching health, like a health program for the kids like that, or you know?
No, my
Uh,
mom was a teacher, and I think I get my teaching fix by teaching people how to read. To me, everything still. Oh,
mm,
there I am with the police officer day. Oh, and butterfly day. I can see that. And oh, there's the other one with the shark video. It's so funny. Um, you know, I love reading, and I love teaching and helping people learn to love reading, because you can't do math without learning to read. You can't do anything really without being a successful reader. You really need that to be successful, in school anyway. I'm sure you can live a great life, otherwise, but to be successful in school, you need to learn how to read. And I just think it's a good foundation to have. So for me, I get my teaching fixed through that.
yeah. When I got old with that math and reading, it's like that. This is use correlation. Like it's more not correlation, but like it connects,
Mm-hmm.
like in the terms of like word problems.
Yes,
You have to understand like what they're talking about for you
that's exactly
to
right.
do the formula, the math.
Right.
Yeah, I went adult. Had to kind of I was trying my high school equivalency
Okay.
because when I was younger, I was kind of fooling around, and so I had to get my diploma.
Sure.
One of the teacher was telling me to understand what the accent you do. So
Yeah,
yeah, reading is very important.
it
Yeah,
is.
you got to read instructions and stuff.
That's
Was
right.
you really good in school, like growing up?
I was, but that's because my mom was a teacher and there was no other
Mm,
option in my household. My
okay.
mom put education way up here. It just was, I didn't get to do the fun things unless I did my homework. She was very strict.
Yeah, yeah. You in high school?
Oh yeah, in high school especially. Oh, I had very early curfews. I think I was a senior in high school and I still had to be home by 10.
Mm,
And I lived a half an hour away from everybody, so I'd have to drive home at 9:30, you know. I was
yeah.
the nerdy one. I had to be home early.
Well, it seemed like it paid off.
Yeah, it
You know.
did. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I got to have fun when I got to college anyway.
Yeah. Like you ever thought, like in bodybuilding, did you ever thought about like taking a break from
So,
from
from
uh
bodybuilding,
yeah.
so right now, because I just started, right? I just started like year and a half ago, and I've done so well. So even though I did all 6 shows last year, I still placed, and I won my first one, and I've placed in all of my shows. So thankful for that. I've done pretty well. I really, my goal right now is to make that Masters Olympia, and so I won't rest until I accomplish that dream. Yeah, it's
What
that important to me.
yeah. A video where you get your card. Like what was I you was excited, but like did you expected that you was gonna get your pro card?
Oh my gosh, no. I walked into nationals the day before check-ins, and at Masters Nationals there are thousands of competitors, and even in my age bracket, in my height class, there was like 25 women. That's a lot. And I I saw all of these women who look like rock stars. They just looked amazing. I thought I was ready to go to my room and start crying. I didn't think I belonged.
Mm,
And I put that aside and thought, I'm just going to go up there and have fun, and I'm going to give it my best. And then I won, and it was mind blowing to me. See, it brings tears to my eyes. It was like walking in a dream. It's still to me, see, it's still to me like a dream come true. I didn't expect it at all.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
you ever thought about being a judge like in the
Oh,
future?
yes. And it's funny that you say that because I've kind of talked to my coach about it. I've been around it for so long and I know so much of the criteria. I think it would be, especially if and when I retire from bodybuilding, I think I would love to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Cause like for like people that not really crazy about bikini, they look at it okay, it's like a beauty pageant. Like
Yeah.
they're good in they got great shape. Excuse my stuttering.
It's
But
okay.
like how do they differentiate? Who's gonna win? Because you guys have like similar physiques. Can you yourself kind of
Oh
like
yeah. Oh,
make
there's
out?
there's there's very distinct differences. The
Yeah,
criteria is pretty clear. They don't want striations, they don't want hard lines. They,
right.
they want soft, bubbly, full muscle, right? They don't want you to jiggle. They don't want that extra jiggle back there, but they want it tight and they want an hourglass shape, right? So
Yeah,
you can't just be big up top. You have to have a tiny waist. you have to have the glutes, or you have to know how to pose in such a way to present it like you do. Fake it till you make it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
We
not
show
easy, which I think it's unfortunate that people think that it's such a beauty contest. I always say I wish we didn't have to wear the heels. It's more about your body than but that's part of
yeah,
the criteria, and that's okay. But it's not easy. It's very hard to get that
yeah,
perfect shape. You know.
yeah. Well, you look nice. I mean, for body, I mean, for somebody in bikini. A lot of
Thank
you,
you.
I mean, a lot of you women that's in bikini look nice. I kind of embrace embrace bikini.
Yeah,
More.
it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's difficult, to try
Did
to
you ever?
attain that shape.
Yeah. Ever feel nervous stage?
So I've only felt nervous once, and that was at my pro debut. But the rest of the time, I honestly just approach it like I'm going up there and dancing. I love to dance. So for me, it's that's all it is. I just go up there and have fun, because we work so hard to get into this shape,
Yeah,
and I don't want to say ruin it, but I don't want to be a downer that day. I want to go and have fun and enjoy all the work that I put into it. And if I do well, great. If I don't, then I have more to learn and I'll just keep working.
yeah. What would you say was your best show?
Oh, well, the one that I won, I'll say that one. And that was
Hello? Oh,
Clash, the Clash show in March of last year. But,
okay.
the
Yeah,
body's
yeah.
evolved and I've grown since then. Oh,
Is
yeah,
there
it's
like
awesome.
somebody like outside? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Is there somebody like outside the sport that you do like outside of bikini, like in today's bodybuilding or
Oh, yeah. Oh, do I? Oh, everyone. I mean, literally them all. They all
oh
have
everybody?
their own. There's not just one, they all have their own different looks, and I love all of them. Like Maureen Blanquisco, she's so bubbly and just muscular in such a soft way. But of course, Laura Lee Chapados, our current reigning Olympian, she's just got these glutes till tomorrow, and her posing is so elegant. Jennifer Dory, she had the shoulders. I just, they all are so beautiful in their own individual ways. And so, whether it's their posing or their physique, I kind of admire and learn from them all.
Yeah, I'm about going to the New York Pro here in New
Oh,
York.
okay.
Yeah, like well, it's in New Jersey, but
Yes. In
yeah,
Teaneck.
yeah, T-Neck. Yeah, okay.
I
You
used to
been
live
there?
in
You
New
ever
Jersey.
been?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
I used
okay.
to, no, yeah, I used to live in West Essex, and I in New Jersey, and worked in Parsippany, and then I even worked at the World Trade Center Tower 2, with
Yeah.
my accounting firm. Yeah, back in the
What
day.
made what made you move to California?
Well, so I was from California and
Oh,
got married to my first husband, who was from New Jersey, Roseland, New Jersey. And we moved there so he could be closer to his family for a while. And so I just kept working, and like I said, worked in the city, and loved it because I was in my 20s, and in your 20s, the city's fun.
so were you there when the towers came down?
So no, we had just moved back. I worked
Oh,
there until 99. And then
oh,
we moved back late 99. So I remember sitting in my living room with my newborn and my daughter, just yeah, in
dated.
shock. Yeah, it
Yeah,
just I couldn't believe it, in disbelief, remembering and watching, and all the time going through those hallways and riding those elevators, and then to watch the whole thing fall down was just surreal.
yeah, yeah. It was dark time. Like I
Yeah.
think, yeah, that decade, was very dark. People was kind of suspicious of the people and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking about, but other than that, I'm thinking about going to the New York Pro because I went there last year, but I was late, and I missed the women's physique. I missed women's bodybuilding. I missed the figure. I missed wellness, and I
Yeah.
got in time for the men's bodybuilding. I sat through the bikini.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I forgot who won. Tell you the truth, I
Yeah.
forgot. It was
I can't remember now either. I think Amy Delgado, did she win the New York Pro for bikini?
yeah, yeah, it was a Latina girl. Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's her name, Amy
Yeah.
Delgado. Yeah, she she won it. Yeah, I sat through it. It's kind of like you want
Don't
to
make it
see
sound like
the.
it's torture.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean no disrespect.
I'm teasing. I'm
It's just.
teasing.
Oh, okay. Because sometimes you're more like excited for like the women with the more muscles and
Totally.
stuff. It's
Yeah. Everybody
you
has
know
their interests. I don't take that personally. I'm just
yeah.
joking.
But I did but other than that I went to the OCB shows,
Okay.
and and I sat through, I sat the bikini, and it wasn't bad. There was people cheering and stuff. I noticed that
Yeah.
people have their fans.
Oh,
Bikini
yeah.
has their own fans and stuff. It's not like bikini's like looked down upon by everybody and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, I started seeing it like because when I was in the New York Pro, I seen a difference, but compared to compared to the shows in the OCB,
Oh, yeah.
and a lot of people, they left, they got up and they want to stick around for the big.
Wow.
But yeah, so yeah, I seen it, and it was
Mm,
okay, but they did have people cheering and stuff. It's not they supporting the women
yeah.
and stuff. It's not like like it was a lot of people that that got
I
up,
see that.
but
And so I feel like because they put the pros at different times in the show, they'll usually put us like more
yeah,
early, middle of the show. But sometimes they'll put the bikini amateurs way at the end, at the, tail end. And those poor girls at some of the larger shows, they have to wait till like 8, 9, 10 o'clock at
yeah,
night to get back on stage when they were ready at 3, 4 in the morning. It's a long, hard day. And it's because they put them last, and that's not an easy place to be in. So I give them credit for that.
yeah. I mean, you guys look good, man. It's not like you know it, I don't know the words how to express it. You guys look. I think
It's not easy.
I just have to be more in tune with the bikini. It's not like you know, y'all don't
It's
put,
its
you
own thing.
guys don't, huh?
It's its own thing. It's hard
Yeah,
in a
it's its
different
own
way.
thing.
Yeah, it's just
Yes.
its own thing. And it doesn't speak to everybody. Like you said, some people think it's just a beauty contest. I wish that they could understand that it's a whole lot rougher than that and that we train really hard. I do good mornings on a reverse hack squat with 6 plates on each side, for 6 sets. That's not easy. And I'm only 100 well, right now I'm 110 pounds. So that's a lot of weight. We don't take it lightly. We push weight and we work
No,
hard, and so hopefully people can appreciate that.
no, I understand because I've talking to some bikini competitors, and I've seen even the bikini competitors on Instagram.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
guys kind of you work out. You guys push as work as the other people, but in a different way.
It's
You
just
know,
different. Hmm.
yeah, yeah. So, like, if you had like anything to make the sport better, bodybuilding is not a popular sport. Like I know but like, what would you do to make it better, like more
Well, you know
like
what's funny?
mainstream?
What I think is interesting is that with Sam Sulik competing, do you know Sam Sulik, right? He started off on
Mm,
Instagram and TikTok. He's definitely been a wonderful influence on this sport, I think, because I see girls, teenage girls and young teenage boys in my gym
mm.
now who follow him, and they're lifting heavy weights and they are flexing in the mirror and they're learning how to pose, and they'll come up and ask me, how do I do this, how do I do that, and they ask me about competing. And so I feel like it's headed in that direction. I feel like it's becoming more mainstream, and I think that that's because of social media. I think social media has kind of opened the doors for the appeal. The thing that scares me about it is that I see more and more young people trying PEDs, right?
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So I was, I'm natural my whole life. It wasn't until I went through menopause pretty early at 46, and then I started what we call hormone replacement therapy because I went through menopause at 50. Then I started taking very low dose testosterone. But up until then, I just ate a bodybuilder lifestyle. I just trained really hard. I never did anything anabolic or anything like that. So to see 18-year-olds and younger throwing their hat in there and trying these PEDs just so that they can get bigger faster, that part is upsetting to me and in very concerning. They should really just be excited about the sport and learn patience, because building muscle takes time, and that's part of the beauty of the sport, is that effort and time that you put into it to sculpt your body. Not taking, and I'm not dissing PEDs. For people that choose to do it, adults that choose to do it, that's all. They good for them. I don't, I could care less. It's the children. To me, if you're under 18, you're a child, and I think you're still growing until you're in your mid 20s. You're still growing and evolving, and I think that that's just too young, too fast. And but I'll fight that battle later. Right now, I'm just happy that they're in the gym and loving bodybuilding.
Funny you say that because I don't know if you heard, like there was this bodybuilder, it's a young girl, she passed away,
Hmm.
not too long ago. I forgot her names.
Yeah.
That's how quick, the names don't, they bounce off for me. Yeah,
No, I know.
she
I'm the same way.
yeah, she I think she started like she was like a bench eater, and you know, and then she started doing bodybuilding, and she did compete, and I think she something happened and she
I
passed
think she
away.
took something. I'm not sure. I don't know the whole story, but what I heard was that she was taking something. I don't know if it was a diuretic or something like that, because she
Yeah,
just wanted to look good. She wasn't even competing at the show. She just went to the show because I think she had some clients that were in the show, but she wanted to look good for the show. So I think that's what happened. I'm not sure. And I think she got dehydrated and then she had a heart attack. I think. But and that's unfortunate. It's sad. I think sometimes people don't realize how serious they can be.
yeah. By any chance, did you see Magazine Dreams with what's this guy's name? Jonathan Majors?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I wanted to see it, but I didn't see it.
I'll have to look now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's about bodybuilding. What's it about? Or
I'll have to. No, I have no idea. I'll have to look.
no? I could show you. Matter of
Okay.
fact. All right. Hold on. Give me a second.
I think I'm going to start coughing. Excuse me.
Nah, cough away. Cough away.
Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
he's a bodybuilder in this movie. I think it's not a true story, but it's like real events of a bodybuilder. So yeah, this is the
Oh, okay.
this is the Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look.
He's Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited to watch that
I
now.
wanted to see it. Yeah. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that Michael
He been
Hurd?
interviewed on. No, his name is Jonathan Majors.
Oh, okay.
He
Yes.
was Kang the Conqueror
Yeah.
from movies like the
Yep.
Creed. He was in
Yes.
Creed.
Yes.
He was yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
You know. So you what was your favorite bodybuilder movie? Pumping Iron?
Well, yeah, probably. I have to admit, I've seen it many,
No.
many, 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 many times. And my middle child, William, he kind of is followed along in the bodybuilding lifestyle, and he loves Arnold, and he's watched Arnold's Pumping Iron, I don't know how many times, and he's watched so he also read his book. Have you ever read his book? Be Useful. So Arnold wrote a book called Be Useful a couple years ago, and then there was a documentary on Netflix about it, and that's where he talks about how he had that vision of what he wanted to accomplish, and he says if you can see it in your mind's eye, right, that it is attainable. And I think my son has watched that Arnold movie about at least 100 times.
Yeah. You ever thought about doing bodybuilding or not
Say,
for him?
yeah, so we keep trying to encourage him. Right now, he's focused on his career, rightfully so, because it just got started. But he's still he's like his mom, in the gym, training, building his physique, trying to get a little bit bigger. When he gets a little bit bigger, then he'll be ready to step on stage, I think.
Yeah, yeah. It's no rush. It's because it's just trying to understand. I'm still learning.
Yeah,
I've done meditation and stuff. Ever building,
that helps everything.
that's yeah. I mean, the closest thing probably like real strict was trying to be a vegetarian.
Oh,
Worked
yeah.
out to. Oh, did you hear that?
Part of
I
it,
broke
part
up.
of it. It broke up a little bit.
I, I was trying to be a vegetarian years ago. I was trying to be a vegetarian.
Oh my gosh, that's the hardest thing ever for me.
Yeah, yeah, years ago, but it didn't really work out.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
steak too much.
yeah. But that's it. And you don't really look that big or nothing like that.
Yeah, I love steak. I can eat a whole tomahawk steak by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
I've done it
like do you have
before.
like do you have like a cheat day or
So I haven't had a cheat day in months because, getting ready for the show, the cheat days kind of go
yeah,
away. But after my second show, I'm doing two shows back to back. One this or Saturday, and then the Florida Grand Prix the following weekend. Once that's done, then we're gonna go have a little celebratory meal and maybe a couple of cheats. Maybe because what I want some fried chicken and I want some waffles. That's what I want right now. I usually get a steak, but for some reason, that's what I'm craving. So I'll have that. Maybe some carrot cake because I don't know why I love carrot cake so much, but I do. But that'll be my cheat meal, and then get back on track and get ready for the next one.
well, I hope you enjoy that. Maybe you deserve it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. No, I don't want to take too much of your time. I don't want hostage. But is there anything that you can to out
Oh,
here?
you're breaking up again. Say it one more time.
I was saying I don't take too much of your time. Need like um invite the viewers.
Oh, that one more time because I didn't hear. I just heard the viewers. Oh my gosh, it's
No,
like bad
is
timing.
there something wrong with my house? Is there like a going away
Oh,
advice that you would like to
advice.
give?
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. You know what? My whole life motto right now, especially because I feel so grateful and fortunate every day of my life, is always follow your dreams. And I know that sounds so corny, but I am, I see I'm going to tear up. I am living proof. I didn't have an easy life. I was a single mom for many years and was in an abusive marriage before. And, life was hard. And I always had this dream. And so here I am living my dream. So I say, no matter what, no matter how dark it seems, no matter how tough it seems, you just keep pushing forward. You follow your heart. You do what you know is right, and you keep working towards those goals and those dreams. Even if it takes you a lifetime, it's going to be worth it.
That was nice. I'm glad you fulfilling your dream. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, no problem.
Mhm.
Well,
And thank
I'm
you for
gonna
having me
go.
on.
Well, thank you for responding and being open to it.
Of
It's not
course.
easy. Yeah, it's not easy asking people to want to join your podcast, and
Yeah, I bet. I love
yeah,
talking about bodybuilding, so that wasn't
yeah,
hard for me.
yeah. I'm still learning, but I
Yeah,
really appreciate giving me some info on the bikini division.
of
Yeah,
course. All right. Well,
yeah.
you take care.
Yeah, you too as well, and I have enjoy your meal after your competition. I hope you do
Thank you.
well. Yeah,
Thank
on
you
your
so
your
much.
debut. No
I'll take
problem.
all the luck in the world.
Yeah, it's not a luck. It's you know.
Thank you.
All
All right.
right. See you later.
Bye, everyone.